Hello and welcome back to the Not the Old Firm YouTube channel. My name is Ben Banks. Just a quick update from me ahead of today's video with Mickel Miller. Got plenty of content on the channel. Thanks very much for the support we've had over the last couple of weeks since launching the channel. We've got exclusive interviews with Mark Milligan, Lewis Fiorini and Gavin Riley out on the website for you to check out now and out on our YouTube channel as well. We've launched our Premiership reviews and previews. The Premiership review out on the channel just now with plenty of interviews with Premiership managers including Jack Ross, Stephen Robinson, Gary Hall and Brian Rice. So all of that to enjoy for you as well just now on the channel. For today it's an interview with Mickel Miller, a current Rotherham player and a current Championship player down south. He spent some time at Hamilton Accies over the last couple of years, his first break in professional football, and he joined me for a chat on his time at Accies, his move to Rotherham, and how his life has changed from being a semi-professional footballer to becoming a professional footballer in the last couple of years. We hope you do enjoy. Please do remember to subscribe and hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to us. Until next time, take it easy. So how did your move to Rotherham come about in the summer?
It was one that came out of the blue, to be fair. So like during lockdown, they got in contact with my agent. Then we set up a Zoom call, and then we went from there. I was talking to the manager and assistant manager and their team through Zoom, and then
So you signed your new contract with your new club over Zoom, basically.
No, I didn't sign over Zoom, but everything was pretty much like understanding through Zoom. So like met them through Zoom and stuff like that until I could get down it.
That must have been quite mental for you, really. Like you're trying to decide your new club basically over your phone or your laptop.
Oh, I know. It's like it was frustrating. Well, not that frustrating, but frustrating times because obviously with all the restrictions on back then, obviously they're a bit eased now, but so there's not much we could do anyway. So just had to deal with it.
You're back training now with Rotherham. Played a couple of League Cup games and you're not in the Johnson's Paint Trophy this year because you just get promoted.
We've had a few pre-season games. And wait, is that the cup that just went?
Yeah. Did you play in the round of League Cup fixtures there that just went past?
I didn't play because I was suspended from Scotland. Yeah.
How does that work then? How does that work that you basically get 2 victims at Accies and you can't play for Rotherham?
Oh no, I don't know how that didn't. I don't know how it carried on over, but unfortunately, I had to miss that game.
So you'll be looking forward to getting started in the Championship then at the weekend. It's the weekend, isn't it?
Yeah, we got our first league game this weekend. Hopefully, I could be in the team or in the squad. So just gotta wait and see.
And how have you sort of found the jump so far? Because it's Championship level. It'll probably be over the course of the 24 teams in the league. It's probably a bit of a step up from the Scottish Premiership.
Well, obviously we ain't started the league yet, so I haven't seen or been involved to see like the difference in standard. But I've definitely seen like the quality of training and stuff like that, like the intensity and stuff has gone up definitely a lot. But yeah, no, it's good. It's all for the better. You only can improve from it. So.
And well, from a lot of the Championship players we speak to, they all say that whilst perhaps physically and stuff, it's perhaps not. It's a wee bit different, but it's more the technical side of things is where players really see the jump.
Oh yeah, that's what I've heard from several people that either play champ or have played champ. They just say it's a very technical game. As long as every level is gonna be physical and stuff like that. But yeah, that's the strong aspect is technical.
It will be nice to play in a grass park, as some people will say.
Yeah, it's a big change from playing on Astro most weeks.
See to be fair to Accies, I know the Astro pitches in Scotland get a lot of stick, but Accies is probably the best of the 3 in the Scottish Premiership.
Oh yeah. Well, I've always played on Astro from my non-league days, so I was kind of used to Astro. But when I went to Scotland, Hamilton's Astro was I felt was decent, like very good Astro.
Because it's important.
So I didn't really.
It's important for clubs like Hamilton, and especially the non-league clubs you had been at, because it's not the game on a Saturday; it's the under-12 training session on the Tuesday, or their community events during the week that is why that's there.
Oh yeah, there's so much that the pitch gets used for, like even us training, stuff like that. So on that side, it's very beneficial.
Just looking back on your Hamilton spell, was it obviously under the circumstances you weren't able to say like a proper goodbye to the fans and things like that after a decent spell there? Was it tough to leave?
Yeah, because obviously when I went up there, my first professional club, so like I was always grateful for everything everyone done for me there, including the fans. So yeah, it was annoying that I couldn't say bye properly, but I'm sure one day I'll get back up there as I've got friends there still. So
There was a good few of you that sort of, it's the end of the cycle almost for Hamilton at the end of the season. They bring in a crop of players from down south or from the academy, and then at the end of the season, whoever plays well is just simply because of the finances that Hamilton can offer, probably going to have better offers elsewhere.
oh yeah, that's always one of the innit? So that's football for you. It happen everywhere.
Yeah, that's just the thing with the Scottish Premiership. Like, I'll not divulge the details of your offer at Rotherham, but the level in terms of that side of things off the park is just, it's completely, Hamilton and Rotherham are probably two different worlds.
Uh, I don't. It's just like obviously Rotherham got promoted to Championship, which is like it's not really one that you could debate about going to. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that opportunity doesn't come around often, so it's just that aspect of it.
As I said, for a player at Hamilton to make the move, that's what Aki's try and sell to players like you. I'm assuming when you go to the club is this is just a platform for you. If you play well here, look at the examples like James McCarthy, who have moved on to like the Premier League. If you do well here, potential for you to do similar.
Yeah, that's what Hamilton's down for, and they've moved on a few of their players, like Greg. Who else was? Forgot his name. He's at Aberdeen now, the other youngster, and they always do it. Lewis, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So they do it to a lot of the players, and that's what they want. And that's why they play the young players and stuff. So they give you the opportunity. So, which is good.
Brian Rice has been more instrumental in terms of bringing youngsters through. There were always been youngsters coming through at Hamilton, but more so under Rice.
Yeah. Well, when he first came in, he said his passion for playing young players and wanting us to express ourselves. So you could tell from the start that that's what he stood for, and that's why I'm guessing Hamilton got him in as a manager, because they knew they had a lot of promising young players as well.
Could you see him out, and you see videos of him like on Twitter all the time of him out with like the under 12s and stuff and doing drills with them and like, late at night, and any games we go to impress. Like there was a time I think Hamilton played on the Saturday, and 12 o'clock on the Sunday, Ross County are playing Celtic and Dingwall. He's there at like 10:30. It's like his commitment to that side of things off the park, whether it's
yeah,
it's crazy. I've never known somebody who watches so much football live.
Very passionate about what he does and what he stands for. So he does love to be wherever he can around the football, especially when he's into something, he's into it.
That must like really radiate through to the players somewhat, that you've got this guy he'll want you to be as passionate as he is about the sport.
Oh yeah, obviously that everyone's gonna have their different takes on how they do stuff and everything, but when the manager's like showing how passionate it is for him, it's like all that stuff. Like I believe, like it's contagious, so it's like it rubs off on the players. So if you show your passion and stuff like that, then the boys will take on that passion as well. So it's good to.
It's perhaps not easier at Hamilton, but there is a bit more of that collective buy-in because everybody writes off Hamilton at the start in August, and then come March, April time as it was this year, they managed to stay up again when everybody never really gave them a chance again.
No, exactly. it's never over till that last game. So you never know what's gonna happen.
Did you have like things in the dress? Because I know Brian was out speaking recently about it. That people keep writing us off. Well, just keep writing us off. Do you like read all that stuff that goes online and goes in the media and things like that, and sort of like, right, they've said this. We're going to make sure he's wrong or she's wrong at the end of the season.
Not really. Obviously, you see it. Like it's not like you're blind to it, but we try not to focus on it. We already know that players don't really like coming to Hamilton because of the pitch or stuff like that, or didn't like coming to the Hamilton. But it's one of them things where we just thought, all right, we know they don't like that, so let's continue to keep upsetting people and stuff, proving people wrong. So it's kind of a good thing. Like once people don't expect nothing from you, it's like you can go out and just do whatever, like give it your all. So
last season seemed to be one for just performances at the right time. You had the win at Rangers, win at Fir Park before, just after Christmas, and even like the performances at Celtic Park. Whilst perhaps a consistent run of form has probably eluded Hamilton for a few years now, they've always seemed to come up with a result at the right time.
Yeah, like I said, like weird. Like we would go and lose to like big games with teams that are around us, and then the next 3 games we'll go play Rangers, Hearts, and Kilmarnock, and we'd end up going to get 2 wins and 1 draw. So like it's so just you never know with Hamilton.
It was that like sort of frustrating as like players almost, because you've proven that we can beat Rangers, and then you get Ross County at home, you get beat off them, a team that you perhaps would have expected to get points in given the league standings at the end of the season.
Yes, very frustrating because you just start to think like why so that when we're the underdogs and we go to somewhere like Rangers, why can we turn up and perform so much better to them when we're at home to Ross County? I just didn't understand it, but I don't know. It's just one of them things.
It'll be interesting.
Man.
I know they've not started brilliantly. I think it's 1 win from their opening 6, but I mean, you know better than most that if MD's going to pull out a result anytime soon, it'll be Accies.
Oh yeah, I know it's not the best. Like I said, it's not the best of starts, but it's early, innit? Like you can't really like determine what's going to happen now. I know they would want to start picking up points, and I'm sure they will. So just got.
Yeah, no, it's a lot younger squad this year because they just due to the financial impacts of COVID, most teams have had to rely on the youths a bit more, particularly Hamilton. Was there any sort of young guys in that squad that you thought at your time there that you thought, well, he can go to the next level?
Yeah, they had a few good young players. They got Regan, who plays now, very good technically. Probably technically one of the best there, even as a young player. Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie Hamilton.
Jamie Hamilton. Yeah. Who else is there? I can't even name anyone else off the top of my head, but they were probably the 2 that stood out the most to me that can definitely go up and play.
Well, you seen like Jamie Hamilton.
Another level.
Like Jamie Hamilton went and trained with Brighton for a week during the last season. And I know Regan had some really big names linked to him as well at one point during last season. They hadn't even really kicked a ball for the first team. So it just shows, maybe perhaps more in Jamie's case just now, because he has actually concrete interest and he's been looked at by a Premier League club. But it definitely shows that they at least have some assets there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And them 2 will 100% go on and play further. I'm sure of it.
Just looking on your own career as well, obviously, you were saying Accies is your first professional club. Can you quite believe now that you've made it to the second tier of English football?
Yeah, like as I go on, I start to think like, well, like if I was to tell myself like 3-4 years ago that I'd be playing Championship, back then I would be like, oh, I don't know about that. But now I look back and I think, wow, I've come a long way, and yeah, it doesn't stop. The hard work doesn't stop.
Were you in any like pro youth academies when you were younger?
Never, just always on trial,
Mm.
always on trial. Then came through at non-league Carter Shorten Athletic.
Yeah, that's mad. Like it just shows you, like, oh, especially like in these days, you see a lot of the perhaps preferred route for players is to go through the academies and work their way up that way. But you see players like Jamie Vardy and things like that, and they do make there is a pathway to go from the lower tiers of English football, Scottish football to nearer the top of the ladder.
Oh yeah, and players like Jamie Vardy, and they give you the hope that you can do it. And then there's loads of other players nowadays that are going from non-league to pro. So it's given a lot of people more hope, not young players more hope and stuff like that. Which is good.
Talking about Carl Charlton, then that must have been even though the facilities at Accies they're decent, but I'm assuming Rotherham's are probably a bit more advanced. But the initial jump from sort of semi-pro to professional must have been crazy for you then.
Oh yeah, it's just the whole going from training twice a week to full-time training. The going from playing in front of probably like 200, 300 fans to thousands. Like it was a huge jump up, and like very memorable time of my life.
No, there's definitely a pathway there, and you've been lucky enough to get to Accies. Is there any particular memory or game that will stand out for you from your spell in Scotland?
I've had a few good games that I remember, but it has to be probably beating Rangers away. Has got to be a highlight. Just as a whole team performance, and yeah, that's got to be the highlight.
David Moyle that season, he scored 2 goals and one away to Rangers, that's a winner, and one away to Fir Park in the Derby, that's a winner. Doesn't really get much better for him.
Oh no, David Moore. Yeah, that's my close friend. We still talk to this day. He's on. Yeah, he's on. He's one of the ones that I think can go push on as well.
The problem with him, he's been given quite a lengthy deal now, actually, by Hamilton. I think it's 3 years or something he signed recently. The thing, he did well last season. He showed that he has got potential. The thing he needs to add this season is goals, probably.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm sure with the work he puts in, the goals will come. Once they start, they won't stop.
He did, like, though he had quite a bad time with injury last year. I know it wasn't anything like properly serious, but he had I think he had like a broken hand or something after the derby, and like, a couple of wee niggly things in the first half of the season. But this season he seems to be getting a full run of play, so it'll be interesting to see what happens if he actually does manage to get off the mark and then see if he can go on a run.
Oh yeah, exactly that. And like it's so important when you can just get a clean run from the start with no injuries and stuff like that. That makes such a difference.
Right, just finally then, what are your sort of hopes for the season at Rotherham? Will be another big step up for you then?
Oh yeah, but well, my hopes are to try and solidify a spot in a team and try to finish as high as we can. So that's my goals for the season.
Is the target to stay up, just given that Rotherham have been a bit of a yo-yo team really in recent seasons, have been up and down League One, Championship for a few years now?
No, we actually not even come up just to stay up. We want to come up to finish as high as we can, and yeah, we want to upset as much people as we can. So yeah, we're not coming up just to try just about survive. We want to finish higher than as high as we can.